Hello, hello. We got anybody here? Sorry, I'm just fixing up a few things before we go. Okay, cool. Hmm. Hello, hello. Is my chat not working? Or did people just pop in now? Live chat? There we go. Yeah. Just doing a little pre-show setup. I see. Okay. We'll do that. Hey, bud. How's it going? Hey, Plus. What's up? I'm setting up Claude stuff as a little companion. Because I think we're actually going to be doing some stuff today, finally. And honestly, a little AI assistance can be useful. Claude is definitely my preferred one. Just gonna blind myself with lights. Um, okay, hold on. So I have done actually a bit of planning for the home lab since the last time we chatted. Mostly today I did that, but it is in the works. Hold on. So let's see if we can do. Well, that's not working. I don't know what's up with my webcam. Isn't that demonic? Oh my god. Okay, so we've just got to do this. Oh well. Hold on. Let's go back. I'm gonna close this down. Did we get any? Did I dox myself? No, we're chilling. Okay. So let's see. I have been planning out this. Are we on the right screen? We are, except we don't have my face. Aha. There we go. So I've been thinking about how I would set up the home lab, and I'm starting to stitch together a plan. Last week's developments were a bit of a commercial for Anthropic, yes? Or the opposite for OpenAI. Oh, last week's development being the DoD stuff. Yeah, that was alarming. Uh, I I just barely heard about that. I'm so out of the loop that I I don't know. But yes, I heard briefly that the US government like denounced Anthropic or something for denying them the right to put in like a series of backdoors into Claude. So that's fun. Um I mean, yeah, I guess it's of all the AI companies, if you're to pick the least evil, I guess Anthropic denying the U.S. government the right to put in a bunch of backdoors, but OpenAI probably licking their boots. Yeah, I guess I'll pick Anthropic instead. I mean, Claude is just better for coding from what I have found. But yeah, I have non-alcoholic beer here because sometimes you want one, but I also don't want to drink on a Monday. All right, so um, I have been thinking a lot about the Homelab stuff. DOW now, but Anthropic wasn't into the war stuff and spying on their own people too. Ah, DOW. Is that an actual thing? They changed it? Is it actually the department? Is this like a meme or is it literally the Department of War now? Because I wouldn't put it past Trump. Oh, well, that's disconcerting. Just gonna close a couple of things here. Okay. Oh boy. Anyways, yeah. I'll be poking about with that a little bit and we'll see where it goes, but I've come up with some stuff. I think today we're going to play around with TrueNAS and a VM just to explore it. But I have a general understanding of the way that I think I want my home lab to play out. So I've sort of thought about the major devices, physical devices. We've got my OpenSense router. There's the Proxmox compute thing, and then there's TrueNAS for storage. I'll also I need to list my access point as one of the things. There we go. AP. So there's that. I think for VMs, I'm going to do a production and test environment for my Docker stuff, which I'm actually kind of excited about. A friend of mine brought up that he was doing that, and I was like, yoink, that's my idea now. So I want to do a test environment where I just sort of play around with my Docker composes right on the VM, but we're gonna like back everything up to Git, and prod will only be adjusted, like its Docker setup will only be adjusted via merge request. I think that'll be kind of a fun way to go about it. The difference between a meme and actual US politics is floating nowadays. Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately true. So yeah, I've got my VMs down to, I want a production Docker host and a test Docker host. Home Assistant. Can I run Home Assistant in an LXC comfortably? I feel like I can, right? Because all I need to do is do some. I don't see much of a difference, right? The LXCs behave a lot like VMs, but with a little bit more flexibility. And then the last VM or LXC I need is the Proxmox backup server. So that's, I don't know why VMs are under hardware. It's interesting. Anyways, I'm really looking forward to playing with the GitOps stuff with Dockhand and doing that sort of like production and test environment. We're going to mess about with that. I've been thinking a little bit about networking, which is not something I often do, and I'm pretty stoked about that. So I think we're going to do 3 VLANs. Actually, Dad, you're in chat. I'm free this weekend, so we should do OpenSense and UPS stuff if you're free. I finally want to get that ready. I'm taking a bit of a break from my like crazy reading binge, so I've got some time for that. So yeah, I want to do 3 VLANs, one for sort of like major devices, one for IoT, and one for guest Wi-Fi. That should be a lot of fun. I'm going to do a lot of networking learning through that. Excited about that. I'm also heavily considering core DNS. Now, a friend of mine who's, I guess it makes sense to have this open. So I'm just going to pop this closed and we're going to keep it open like this. Okay, great. Yes, let's do it. Okay, so for DNS stuff, I'm heavily considering core DNS. A friend of mine mentioned that core DNS can automatically pick up anything reverse proxied by traffic, which is going to be my Dockery reverse proxy thing. So that'll be fun. And then AdGuard at some point, and then OpenSense is just going to sort of ferry to the 2 of those. And of course, we're going to do remote access stuff via Tailscale. That just, right? Then I started thinking about storage. So we're going to move to TrueNAS for storage. bulk NFS, TrueNAS. Over NFS, we've got the two ZFS pools, which we're just going to pull in from before. Should be nice. I wish I could buy big hard drives, but I can't. So, oh well. Um, I've got a pair of 4 terabyte drives that I use for media, and I've got a pair of 2 terabyte drives that I use for everything else. I would love to have a little bit more storage than that, but this is what we got. So here we go. That'll do for now. For backups, I spent a good amount of time actually thinking about backups because I don't want I want robust backups this time. I'm hoping I can pull all of this together within the year. Like if this is a year-long project, it should be fun, right? So, I'm thinking about backups for every different thing, right? We've got basically the bare metal devices, and I learned that Proxmox and TrueNAS both have config exports that I can do. So as long as I export those to somewhere on the NAS in a data set of backups and things, then I can track those and restore fairly easily. The VMs are all going to go through Proxmox backups, and then those are all stored on the ZFS pools on Small Boy. I would love to rename my pools. Maybe one day we'll think about that. LXC Home Assistant as LXC, yes for Docker install, no for full HAOS. Okay, darn. All right, then I'll just stick with the VM. That's perfectly fine. So we'll do that. So we're backing up VMs via Proxmox backup server. And then we can do some ZFS snapshots on those. And then I think what I'll do is back them up to Backblaze. So for those of you who don't know, Backblaze is like runs one of the things that they offer is an S3 like storage system. If you're familiar with AWS, so it's an object store. Is that correct? Yeah, it's object store. So big object store. It's something like $6 a month per terabyte. So I can do all of my config on there. I don't know if I want to do media backed up there, because then we're talking about more money. If TrueNAS is a VM on Proxmox, you can simply back it up using Proxmox backup server. Keep in mind not to use an NFS shared provided by TrueNAS as the PBS storage for it. Yes. So unfortunately, I don't have a single device that also takes my drives that I can run. I can run TrueNAS in a VM, so I will be running hardware TrueNAS. Or maybe a better way to phrase that is I will be running TrueNAS on bare metal. I was very excited about your setup for virtualizing TrueNAS, and if I had a single device with enough compute and storing my drives, I would, but I don't. My NAS is just like an N100 machine. So, yeah, that'll have to do. Okay. Yeah, and then we've got Backblaze we've got Backblaze for remote backups, everything except for movies. I think I'll back up everything else because like home photos and things like that aren't going to be that big. But movies, my like 200 copies of Big Buck Bunny, that's too much data to be backing up, right? So that'll do for now. Unless anybody else has recommendations for a backup system, or like remote backups that are maybe cheaper. But I hear that Backblaze, like TrueNAS has a cloud sync like plugin or extension, and there's a direct connection to Backblaze, so that sounds super easy to do. I like that. And then all of my Docker Compose files and stuff are just going to be up on Git. So that's cool. I'm thinking about updates as well, right? So we're going to have a number of machines that all need to be updated, and I'm not trying to rely on myself to back things up. Hey, Mike, how's it going? It's my first time in stream, so sorry if you talked about this already, but what hardware are you planning on installing OpenSense on out of curiosity? Great question. Let me go get it. Also, welcome to stream. So, couple months ago, I've been really behind on doing all of the things that I said I would do. I bought this Protectly open. Oh, here. Let me switch cameras. There we go. I bought this Protectly OpenSense Vault Pro router guy. So bare metal device specifically built for for OpenSense. It comes with OpenSense pre-installed. Really excited about that. Hey Ish. Hey Dixie, how's it going? So I'm super stoked about this. This is a great device. It was a little expensive, but it was probably well worth it. Um, I do need to make a YouTube video on it, to be honest, because I told them when I bought it that I would, because they had phenomenal customer service, like really, really great, and that just made me happy. So, by the way, if you're looking for like specific, if you're not going to virtualize your router or anything like that, these guys sell a great device. Really, really nice customer service. They're also in Canada. They have at least a Canadian branch, which makes a big deal to me. Might not to you. Fair enough. But yeah, really excited to set this up. Should make a big difference and lets me play with VLANs. Hey Tim, how's it going? Okay, so yes, all right. I think I'm a little behind on chat. Let me catch up. Reverse proxy for which part? For reverse proxying my Docker stuff, I'm using traffic. That's my game plan. Ooh, OpenSense, yes. Learned about a very crazy far backup a friend of mine did. He showed me a contract with the German Bundesarchiv signed by its president. The data is public then, but apparently this exists. That's crazy. Good to know. Very cool. Love that it even comes pre-installed. I had a Protectly device that I installed pfSense on back in the day, and it worked out great. Yeah. I know. I'm really excited about this. And finally getting my UPS installed, because one of my earlier videos was about how I didn't set static DHCP leases on a bunch of things, and I was playing around with Kubernetes, and that was a nightmare. So I bought a UPS after that, and that should be good. What is your remote access solution? I think I'll be going with Tailscale. Should be nice and simple. Hey Nathan, when talking, make sure to talk towards the mic, otherwise the sound goes from being clear to not clear. Ah, thank you. Good reminder. Is it recommended to not virtualize your router? I've seen a lot of people virtualize their router. I don't know. I don't think it's not recommended. I wouldn't do it unless you were like, very comfortable with virtualization and your backup solution and all of that. But I know quite a few people who are good at what they do who virtualize their router. I think even Jim's Garage does it, and that guy seems like he knows what he's doing. I wouldn't though. I think I might have like a bare metal bias, but I wouldn't. So I guess we're on the same page. Okay, cool. Let's pop back over. Sorry. Let's pop back over to here, to our document. So there's backups. I'm considering some Ansible stuff. So, right, we were talking about that quickly. Keep your static leases in a separate file. My OpenSense is virtualized. Ooh, okay. All right. Keep your static leases in a separate file. I guess we'll get to that when we get to it. What do you mean by keep it in a separate file? I'm guessing you configure it on OpenSense, and then there's the OpenSense like backup file, like config backup you can do. Is there also a config file that I can export, or do you just have these in a markdown document or something like that? I've been thinking of doing a thing where my services can be accessed on the internet without VPN, but also not directly port forwarding it. Either Tailscale plus Nginx Proxy Manager or Pangolin on VPS. I've heard good things about like Cloudflare and other solutions that don't require that direct port forwarding. I don't have the guts. I don't have the guts. I also feel like socially I have a bigger kind of attack surface because I stream this. Like one day somebody smarter than me is gonna find that I stream and get a lot of joy out of trying to ruin my day. And so I feel like I have to be extra careful. Isn't it better to not rely on a third-party service as Tailscale versus WireGuard? Like, kind of. So let's do this. So I guess, but it depends on what your values are, right? So for me, I just want my services to be available quickly and easily remotely. Um, and I need it to be easy for my friends to set that up too, who are not techie. And Tailscale is really good software that I don't think I would easily configure. You know, I don't think I could set up WireGuard to the extent, at least not without a lot of work, to the extent that I liked it as much as the Tailscale experience. I'm not I'm not opposed. Like, I don't know, Tailscale's so good. I just don't mind that much. But I respect if that's like a principle of yours, and many people hold that principle. So yeah, fair. Um, Cloudflare tunnels don't support media streaming. Ah, okay, okay. It's against their terms of service. Fair. That, I guess that makes sense. I use DNS mask in OpenSense and simply export it. In case of a disaster, knowing the IP addresses is helpful. Okay, I'll keep that in mind then. All right. Where are we? All right, we're still on updates. Let's do so much. There we go. Okay. So, we have a number of things that are going to need to be updated regularly, right? We have the OpenSense router, we have the actual Proxmox device, we have TrueNAS. I guess my access point isn't going to need to be updated that often. Then we have some VMs that need updates. And we'll also need a solution for Docker images, right? So I'm thinking for these guys, right, I'll probably go for these. I'm thinking about like some Ansible stuff. I've used Ansible in the past. I've liked it. I think for mass updating things, it'll probably be quite good instead of SSHing into a bazillion things. So I will think about that. If anyone has any other solutions they're using, I'm curious to hear how you go about updating your stuff. Or maybe you just don't. No shame here. For Docker images, I've heard about Renovate Bot, which is just like a Git bot that pings you with merge requests when your Docker images are can be updated. I think that sounds like a really good idea. We'll see. I hear you can self-host that. I'm still also considering self-hosting Git. I don't know about that, but I don't know. I feel like I want to do it on GitHub. That feels like in line with my values to do these things publicly. And then I'll just have to come up with secrets management stuff, right? I like Firebird over Tailscale since you can self-host Firebird itself instead of relying on third parties' big networks. Yeah, that's fair. I don't want to have to self-host that part. That part sounds difficult, right? Like I feel like I would need a VPS, and then I would need to do like the orchestration thingy on the VPS, and then I'm managing a VPS, and it might go down. And Tailscale just makes things so easy. I personally just started using Tailscale for the ease of use and not getting blocked on public-ish Wi-Fi's. Yeah. So I'm gonna go about that approach for now. We'll see. Netbird. I mentioned the wrong thing. Okay, Netbird. I'm still on a simple OpenVPN behind FWKNOP setup. It's not fancy, but stable. Okay. All right. I'll consider that. I think I will be going down the Tailscale route though. Headscale is self-hosted version of Tailscale, but it's not first party. Yeah, and then you're back at the same issue of like I'm managing a VPS running this so I can do I can forward the ports and all of that, and Tailscale makes it so easy. So that's what I want to do. Okay. What else we got? I'm gonna need to figure out UPS and NUT stuff because we are doing the. Can I not make this bigger? Is this maximum big? All right. because I bought the UPS, I want to use the UPS. And if I don't have NUT set up, then I haven't really used the UPS properly. So that's on my mind. I have some design principles. I am very interested in OIDC for my Docker things, so we'll see how that goes. So, yeah, this is my summary of like the major devices. I should probably add an AP in here somewhere because I actually haven't thought that through very much. Then I've got my Docker, or sorry, my VMs. I've got my list of containers so far. So I'm this time NetBird gives everything you need that Tailscale gives, but you being able to self-host software on your own hardware. You don't have to self-host NetBird. I just like open source and try to. Ah, I see. Keep it. Yeah. All right, I'll take a look at NetBird. How easy is it for non-techie people to set it up? Okay, this is interesting. All right, I'll take a look at NetBird. This looks cool. One thing I've not yet considered is most UPS have an interface to alert a PC server status. I would imagine that Home Assistant probably has an insert for this. Oh yeah, that sounds really cool. Okay. Yeah, this looks cool. Can I use it on mobile devices as well? Like, how available is this? Because I think people, like, there are going to be people who set up a smart TV and are going to need access. iOS, Android. Let's see. NetBird for Apple TV? Question mark? Oh, hell yeah. Okay, we got tvOS, we got Android TV. This'll work. Okay. This looks more featureful. Easy as installing NetBird on your device, and on the website you get a dashboard where you activate your device. Very neat. Okay. Good. Good suggestion, Tim. I like this. Okay. I do like that it's open source. Okay, we'll explore this. How much NetBird, how much planning would I need to do about my Homelab to make NetBird work with it well? One of the things that I like about Tailscale is I don't think, right? I just install and boom, it works. NetBird looks like it has quite a few features. That doesn't mean that I'll have to, like, it won't be plug and play, but it does look like it has a lot of features and I might need to think about it. Hey, Mike. Yeah. I am planning on going Navidrome and buying music. I'm really quite excited about it. Um, it's going to be a ton of fun. I want to do some curation. I want to get myself out of the house to go buy some CDs and stuff, you know? And now we have 3 more episodes secured. Sweet. Yes, we have more stuff to do. I've told you about it for over a month, if not more. Yeah, sorry. I have a lot of things coming in all at once, all the time. But yes, I think I remember we've looked at NetBird in the past. It just hasn't clicked for me yet because I wasn't actively thinking about this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this will be fun. Cool. All right. I'll do a comparison, but I'm strongly leaning towards this. So let's Tailscale. All right, let's leave that there for now. Okay, where were we on things? Backups. Right. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to go with this core DNS traffic integration that a friend of mine showed me. Hey, it just arrived. What's Netbird? Netbird is an alternative to Tailscale, from what I'm understanding now. Tim just pointed it out to us. So I'm looking for remote access solutions for the Homelab that I'm planning out here. And it looks like a good open source remote access tool, among other things. Should be pretty interesting. All right. Yeah. You thought about it. Oh, I need to self host. Got to be open minded for everything. Indeed. You're right. All right. Cool. Yes. I haven't explored with at least one of the episodes ending abruptly because the network's nuked. Yeah, probably. Netbird.io. Yes. Okay. So I haven't played with the observability stuff in the past. So I'm pretty sure that's going to be a couple of episodes getting Grafana, Prometheus, and Loki. I don't know about Loki, but AI was like, you probably need something like this. And I was like, okay. So let's take a look at that actually. No. Oh, God. Thanks, guys. That's what I meant. Okay, so it's heavily connected to Grafana. Install Loki with Docker or Docker Compose. You can use Grafana Cloud to avoid installing. Yeah, that's not the solution here. What the heck is Promtail? There's too many things. Okay, so I mean, we're obviously gonna move this into a nice. Okay, we've got a Docker Compose option here. Nice. I don't know what Loki does. I don't need the setup and install, I need an explanation. Set of open source components that can be composed into a fully featured logging stack. A small index and highly compressed chunks simplify the operation and significantly lowers the cost of Loki. Okay. Grafana Loki. Absolutely Docker. Yeah. All right, cool. Have you heard of Kata and Firecracker before? I have not. Unlike other logging systems, Loki is built around the idea of only indexing metadata about your log's labels, just like Prometheus labels. Log data itself is then compressed and stored in chunks in object stores such as AWS, such as S3, or cloud storage, or even locally on the file system. Okay. That's cool. I don't really know what that does for me, other than logs are. This seems like something that compresses logs, and that's nice. I will have to do quite a bit of reading to figure out what the heck's going on with observability things. Syslog server, but modern. Nice. I like that. Okay. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of reading that goes into the containers we set up. Okay, I imagine people will have opinions on this. I'm looking at authentic for auth things. Now, there are a lot of options. A friend of mine, actually, he's in stream a fair amount. Nick uses Pocket ID, which looked really cool, but only does, what's it called? What's it called? Like the passwordless stuff. I forget what they're called. Only uses passwordless authentication, which is great for everything except for like Apple TV and things like that, which is one of the use cases that I'm looking at. So I think I may have to go authentic. Authentic looks really cool though, so I'm not that upset about it. And I do actually really want to learn about the family of things like LDAP and OIDC and what's the other one? SAML? Yeah, I want to learn that kind of thing because, well, I don't know. I feel like if you're an IT person, you know that, and I don't know that, and I want to be that. So Loki tends to suffer from the usual attic problem. Larger attic, more space for useless stuff. Always set a compaction, retention, or it grows. Yes, I've explicitly set 7 days. Anyone got opinions on that? 7 days seems reasonable to me because I don't think I would go without noticing for 7 days, but you never know. Opinions on the interwebs? No way. Yeah, yeah. Especially amongst a crowd of homelabbers, right? Homelabbers don't have opinions. All right. I've heard about CrowdSec. I haven't thought about it very much. It seems not that necessary considering I have no open ports, but I want to do this really well. And so security considerations matter. So that's one thing I'm thinking about. We got a bunch of feature things. I'm not even going to think about features until we get off the ground, because otherwise I'll get excited about features and not build the infrastructure, and then something will break and I'll be pissed. Not this time. Not this time. Not this time. We're doing it right. Okay. So, yeah, that's that. Okay. We can get a little further into this. I'm just going to keep going over overviews and getting opinions, and then we'll do TrueNAS on Proxmox just to play around with TrueNAS for the last hour of the show. Since when is this a show? I guess it's a show now. Okay. Is the plan to just smash everything on the server at once, or is this taking a while? Oh, my assumption is this plan will take the year, right? Like iHomeLab, I want to do most of it on stream. Obviously, the router stuff is going to be off stream. So, yeah, it's going to be quite a while, but that's cool. Like you take things slowly and you learn more that way, and then you also don't rush to build things, get exhausted and burnt out. Don't make any YouTube videos because you're burnt out, right? And it'll be good. I'll probably make a video summarizing this document at some point. I want to do some more kind of less produced Homelab rants on YouTube, because I've done a bunch of video essays recently and I want to do something else. You know? Silverback Scotty says Homelabbing is never finished. Indeed. But I am scoping the project. I'm scoping the project to this document, more or less, and we'll see what happens. One of my big problems is that I want it all at once. Yeah, I feel that. Honestly, doing things on stream has helped me a lot, because it like I have a scheduled time every week to do a bit of homelabbing, and so usually I use it. Sometimes we just yap, fair enough, but I have this scheduled time, so I always make a little bit of progress every week. But I also don't overdo it, because I'm like, well, if I get too far ahead of stream, then everyone's going to feel left out, and that's no fun. So I kind of like end up in this nice middle ground, which is great. Okay, so VLANs and subnets. I've never done this before, but it should be super fun, and I'm looking forward to this because, this is something that my dad has expertise on that I don't, and so it'll be good to sort of be in his wheelhouse. The game plan here is I just want to do some reasonable separation, just logical separation of my trusted LAN, including where I put my network infra, my hardware, VMs, containers, any other personal devices, open DHCP pool, good to go. Then I'm going to do the IoT thing. I've never done this before. I get the feeling this is going to be a huge pain in the ass. But well worth it. I don't know. I want to learn good security practices, go through the process of putting them in place, that kind of thing. And this just, everybody does this. Everybody who's like really serious about this isolates their IoT. I want to do that. So we're going to do it. And then I get to play with firewall rules, which I never get to do. I'd reserve some fixed addresses for name servers / resolvers. Okay. Where would you put that? I think for name servers and resolvers. So that's like my DNS stuff. Would that be, what would go under, is that Core DNS? But does Core DNS, when we use Core DNS, does that get given a Docker, as a Docker container? I'm guessing I set it up such that it has its own IP. I know there's a way to do that. Let's go here. And so maybe I can allocate that in, I think I would put that in network infra, but we might not have enough room. Maybe I'll just expand this over. So I'll give network infra a little bit more. 253 and 254 are my usual ones. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, let's name servers resolvers. We're going to put that as a to-do. So we're getting serious now. That's the goal. We're still going to have a couple streams of me just playing with things to figure out how it works. But I do want a really nice home lab. You know, is that like it feels like a stupid thing to say, but I feel like I'm getting to a point where my understanding is such that I can try to design a home lab in advance, have a design doc for it like we've got here, and then actually try to carry it out with that level of robustness. So I think that should be fun. Gateway and name server are the only ones you need to know. Are the only ones you need to know by heart if they work correctly. Okay. Okay. Cool. That makes sense then. I'm looking for like a core DNS sort of Docker compose. See if we can find one on Git. There we go. Is this somebody's random core DNS setup? I don't know much about it yet. I've just heard cool things. So I know there's a bunch of config files that we can use. I'll need to read about this. I guess I'll go over my friend's setup at some point to figure out how to use this. Where's this guy's Docker compose? There's a Docker file, Docker compose. Exposes ports, which of course makes sense. What's that thing called? There's a thing with Docker where you can set a container. What the heck? Docker container set IP. I know there's a way, I forget what it's called. To set a specific IP address for a Docker container, you can create a custom network and then assign the desired IP address when you run the container. Blah. Now, I'm talking about when I want it to appear as its own, like, kind of like a virtual machine with an IP. I don't think that's what I'm looking for. Because that's within the Docker network. I'm talking about exposing it to the rest of my network. IP address of container. I hear with traffic, Mac VLAN. Thank you. That's what I'm looking to do. Mac VLAN stuff. So potentially Mac VLAN for core DNS, maybe traffic. I don't know, but definitely like for core DNS, because that maybe AdGuard as well. AdGuard, because they're all DNS related, so it might be beneficial to just have an IP address for them. I love the design doc, and now I started implementing it myself. From me making hammock gear to music and plans for my server. Thanks for that. No problem. Design docs just help a lot. I mean, I got it from my boss. If you're super keen on the security, I'm currently working on using Let's Encrypt to create fully signed Wi-Fi certs. Something to add to your impressive list. I have thought about Let's Encrypt, because obviously we want signed certs, right? I want the little, what was it, the little lock icon. So I think what I'm gonna do is, because I have nathanlaundry.com, I think I'll do like the subdomain star.lab.nathanlaundry.com for production. None of these are going to be exposed ports. I'm just using the domain name. Yes. And then for test, I'll run star.test.nathanlaundry.com. It's a little wordy. I could buy another thing, maybe. I could get like laundrylab.net, but $10 more for what? I guess I could run it with Cloudflare, because I'm with Namecheap right now, and Namecheap's kind of lame. Cloudflare would be cooler. What is Traffic? Traffic is a reverse proxy for Dockery things. Is that right? So it makes it really easy to get to sort of make your Docker containers accessible by reasonable names and things. So that's really what I'm using it for. I don't know exactly how reverse proxying works. Maybe at one point maybe we'll really deep dive things and I can watch like a tutorial exactly on how reverse proxying works and how traffic works before setting it up. That would be a nice way. If we're giving ourselves the year, then there's time to learn. What traffic does that means you forward ports. Sorry, Ish, I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. Would you mind rephrasing? And I can try to pick up. Okay, yeah, next up, VLAN for IoT. I don't know how to set this up. I don't know how to like reconfigure my smart home devices. It's mostly bulbs, so we should be okay. With traffic, does that mean you forward ports? I don't think so. I think actually traffic hooks into the Docker socket, right? And then it picks up on things, so you don't actually have to forward the ports of the Docker containers, which I'm fairly sure is a huge boon to security, but I don't know. Yeah, so pretty hyped about that. Should be cool. Okay. Oh, cool. I don't know how like anything works, so you're ahead. Well, there's lots of time to learn, and we're doing our best. So yeah, we'll have to do that, and we'll need a firewall rule to let Home Assistant OS reach our IoT subnet. Is that correct? Subnet or VLAN, or are they synonyms? How do they differ? VLAN versus subnet? I don't know. VLANs work at data link layer 2, while subnets operate at network layer to divide an IP network into smaller segments for better management and security. Okay. I vaguely understand what that means. I don't know what the affordances of either one are. Oh. Network organization. Improved performance. Oh! That's huge. Do subnets not get the improved performance? Interesting. I'll have to read up on that. That'll be good. I'll create a list of things to read on. Because, yeah, that would be super cool if my IoT devices weren't kind of like chattering on the same VLAN as everybody else. Ish says, if you're using traffic, are you using it to access from outside the network or just for a domain name in local network? Are you using it for a different purpose? Domain name in my internal network is my goal here. I'm not exposing anything on my local network to WAN, except through, well, that's not to WAN, but I'll be using maybe NetBird to get my stuff out to the few people who need access to it. VLAN is basically a virtualized physical NIC. You can have multiple VLANs on a single physical wire. Okay, cool. Yep, and then we'll have guest Wi-Fi. Awesome. Yeah, I've got my DNS ideas here. Playing around with thoughts of NetBird. This is the HTTPS Let's Encrypt approach that I'm taking. Then I'm thinking about Docker networking. So, because I've never tried to make Docker more secure. So that's kind of one of the projects I'm interested in here, is learning Docker to the point where I'm not just copy pasting some Docker composes. We're thinking about our Docker networks. We're thinking about our volumes. We're thinking about security. Should be fun. So I'm thinking about 3 networks. So the way Docker networks work, as I understand it, spend a lot of time planning the VLANs in my Homelab for going mostly untagged now. Well, luckily, I don't think we've overplanned this time. So hopefully this is like a nice 80-20 rule for ours. Yeah, so we've got front ends. This I'm going to use for web-facing services handled by traffic. Then there's a backend network, which is mostly databases. Nobody should have access to those, right? And then I don't know why I was planning this out with some AI. I don't know what monitoring, like what the benefit of isolating my monitoring is, other than it's sort of just a principle of least privilege. My monitoring doesn't need access to the back end. It doesn't have front ends other than I think Grafana has a front end. So might as well isolate it. We'll see. So that's cool. We'll learn about that as we go. I'm also learning about what to do with the host, right? So Docker is notoriously terrible for security from what I hear. Like when I was briefly working at UFT, they were super not excited about running Docker containers. We were looking at Apptainer instead because Docker is just a nightmare, apparently. So I'm looking at trying to reduce that problem. Basically, we're reducing privileges as much as possible, not running as root, all of that. I don't know how much of a pain in the ass that's going to be, but we'll get there when we get there. And then you can set various levels of privilege for your containers. So minimal privilege is going to be nice for a lot of things, should be enough. Then, of course, AdGuard and Core DNS are going to need some additional capabilities. And then my Jellyfin is going to need device access with GPU pass-through, right? So I was running Jellyfin as an LXC for a long time because I didn't want to figure out how to do a bunch of device pass-through through Kubernetes because I was playing with Kubernetes. With Docker, it should be easy, I think. So there's that. Maybe I'll just keep Jellyfin on the LXC. I would rather not, though. I'd rather do as much through Docker as possible. Okay. And then, yeah, traffic and Dockhand are going to need the Docker socket, but I can set that as read-only, apparently. Pretty off topic, but what editor are you using for your notes? Here, is this Markdown with a VS plugin? Ah, good question. This is Obsidian. Yeah. I'm using Obsidian. Usually I'm a NeoVim guy. Whoops. And I rock it like this. But this document is big and like not easy to read this way. So, yeah. I was popping through it and I realized this would be easier to go over in stream. Hey, Parkerman, how's it going? Notice you're using Obsidian over just files in NeoVim. Aha! Funny! You both asked the same question at the same time. Yeah, mostly because with a file this big, I find that a little bit of visual aid out of Obsidian is actually quite nice. So I'm just using it as a Markdown reader. I'm not doing any of the sync or anything like that. Just to make things a little easier to read. Okay. I've got my OpenSense set up. I've got just an overview of my storage, strategy for handling Docker volumes. Then I've got my GitOps stuff planned out a little. Still needs some work. It's going to be a little while. I've got backups plans, which I'm really proud of because I don't plan backups. And this time I did. Yeah. What else we got? This is all still backups. Disaster recovery cheat sheet, guys. I'm thinking. Yes. And then I'm thinking about how to use Nut properly to make sure my stuff shuts down correctly. So that should be fun. I don't really know much about this, but we'll document it. Hopefully this weekend, Dad and I will go through. with setting up the OpenSense router and my UPS and reconfigure things. My girlfriend is out of the apartment for Saturday for her book club, so we can have some no internet time to break things. So this is good news. What else? Yes, a lot of my things aren't configured for auto start yet. That's got to change, right? I want like full recovery from hardware up to just like running state if there's a little power outage, right? So I'm thinking about that. I know a lot of that is just BIOS settings, so it shouldn't be too hard. I don't know if I need wake on LAN for this, right? If things are set to auto restart, but if I'm in the BIOS, I might as well configure that just in case, right? And then updates and maintenance. I'm thinking about Ansible for that, and renovate bot for that as well. Should be cool. Disk health and monitoring. Yes. So I know, especially with ZFS things, you can do a lot of really nice, like regular cron jobbed scrubs and things like that. I absolutely want to do that because my drives are kind of old and they're not built for NAS because, well, I missed the boat and now hard drives are $1 bazillion. So we're dealing with some mediocre hard drives, and that's the best we got. And so we have to treat them with love because they're doing their best. Oh, cool. You can link that up to Grafana? I can't wait to do the Grafana thing. I feel like I'm going to get a real kick out of observability. Okay. Anything else? I'll be building out these run books. And then I need to restructure the projects so that we actually have like a workflow so that every stream I'm kind of like clicking in and it's just these are the tasks for this stream and we can sort of go about it. I think let's pop over here. We're going to switch over to testing out TrueNAS in a VM soon because I've never used it before, so I want to do that before I plop it on my NAS. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty stoked. I think we've thought a lot of things through. I'm sure everything is going to break, right? And then I'll have a terrible time. But Grafana is too much fun to mess with. My friend has Grafana on their Homelab and it's beautiful. Yeah, I totally want to do this. Funny enough, the thing that I'm most excited about is Authentic and OIDC. I think the idea of just like my friends and family having accounts on my network that I manage and they have access to my stuff and I'm providing these services and it's something about that just feels so official. It feels like I'm learning the skills that the IT department and my job would know, and so I'll be able to chat with them more. I'm super stoked about that, and I didn't think that was the thing I was going to be hyped about, but I am. Maybe that'll change when I start working on it. But yeah, should be a ton of fun. For my OpenSense router also, I've got a couple of other things. So it came with 2 SFP plus ports, because I wanted 10 gig, right? Because I think my internet is about 4. I've got 4 gig up and down. And I know I could have gotten a router for a lot cheaper with 2.5, but leaving 1.5 gig on the table, my heart couldn't take it. You know what I mean? Like so I've got these SFP plus 10 gig Ethernet ports, or sorry, 10 gig ports, and I've got these SFP Ethernet adapters. And adequate cabling for it. Sysadmin dream coming true. Indeed. All right. Hey, Nathan, I recommend setting up Home Assistant and Zigbee 2 MQTT with either a PoE USB Zigbee dongle or a USB Zigbee dongle. A cool project that's very satisfying to set up. I'm with you. I'm right there with you. So my current setup, I do run Home Assistant OS. And I've got the little Zigbee dongle as a USB guy on my Proxmox machine, and I pass that through to my Home Assistant OS. I'm really looking forward to doing some more Home Assistant stuff once we get there. Need 10 gig, indeed. Had Zigbee, but Home Assistant's own ZHA integration uses the same Zigbee, but it's less complex. Ah, okay, good to know. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 minutes, grab some water, and then we're going to run TrueNAS in a VM to explore. Home Assistant, mostly just lights. Mostly just lights. Ugh. Hold on. I'm setting up the break. Boom. OS over Dockerized for there were some improvements and I didn't read that much about it, and so I just went with OS because that's what they recommended. Okay. Eh? Oh yes, there we go. Here comes the questions about the BRB ASCII. Isn't it nice though? I love that thing. One of my favorite things I've done with Home Assistant is setting up, excuse me, View Assistant with a jailbroken Amazon Echo Show 5 with a custom trained wake word. I now have an assistant in my kitchen that I own. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing some like self-hosted assistant stuff because I'm like fairly deep in the Apple ecosystem. So I've got HomePods, I got an iPhone, Apple TV, the whole thing, right? And I'm a little concerned about the Gemini thing. You know, Apple's is, the cursed AI is about to be Gemini, and that's a little scary. There's a reason for TrueNAS. I had a situation where my friend running a TrueNAS server and me running OMV wanted to use each other as a backup server, and it was a nightmare. Ah, I've heard very good things about TrueNAS in general. I feel like everything has problems, and you're never gonna end up in a situation where your solution doesn't. That's something I should probably for Proxmox. Hold on. Whoops. Do I not have the Vim? This is wrong. Hold on. Where are extensions? I can't use this without Vim. Whatever. We'll just go over. Do it this way. Sorry. I know I cut off answering your question in the middle of it, but for Proxmox, I need to set a note. I don't know where exactly. to-dos. Oh, this is the old, right. I just appended that to the end. Let's throw this, projects and to-dos. Unsure. Uh, log in to Proxmox, not as root. There we go. Okay, sorry, let's continue your question. On his end, because apparently you can only install stuff via TrueNAS Store. Like, we couldn't install anything the way you would on my Linux machine. From what I understand, it's restricted. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I've heard about that. And that is, I think, going to frustrate me, but I think it might be a cost I'm willing to pay. Because TrueNAS Scale is extremely stable. So yeah, installing anything on TrueNAS isn't a good idea. It's an appliance. For everything more complex, I use a host and the storage network and a 40 gigabit Ethernet NFS mount. Nice. 40 gigabit Ethernet NFS mount. I mean, oh, right, because you virtualize TrueNAS, right? So you could manage it otherwise too. Cool. TrueNAS is a much more mature NAS solution. Yeah, you were saying you only use it to manage your storage and install services elsewhere. Yes, that'll be my approach as well. Yeah, that'll be my approach as well. I'm going to treat TrueNAS as an appliance and only for managing storage, right? I don't want to think about using it for services or anything like that. We're also going to have to clean all this up at some point. Soon I'll be able to shut down my Kubernetes cluster. It's still running AdGuard, so I don't want to. Right. Okay. So we're creating a new VM here. Let's do it. Okay. TrueNAS and TrueNAS Scale. We've talked about this briefly, right? Or actually, we've never talked about it. I assume TrueNAS Scale because it's based on Debian, and that makes me happy. But there is TrueNAS and TrueNAS Scale. I'm not opposed to BSD-based solutions. Any preferences among the chat? I'm not going to use it for running apps. Like it's not going to do any of that crap, right? It's just a storage box. So that does leave us a little bit more open to TrueNAS, the BSD version, as a solution. But I have heard that it doesn't run great on consumer hardware, and TrueNAS Scale might or does. So I'm not sure. Thoughts? I'm sure the interfaces will at least be very similar. So I'm just going to install one, and we'll call it a day from there. Course 2 6. Okay, so we're just going to spin this up and go through the process. You assign a host-only network to TrueNAS. Fire up a VM on the same node. Assign a host-only network to TrueNAS. Fire up a VM on the same node. Right. Okay. Right. Yes. That makes sense. Debian Hart, no surprise here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. We're on the same page then. Go scale for more updates, better compatibility. Tight. When I assign 2 cores for a VM, are those 2 physical cores taken up by that VM, or can they share them with other VMs? I assumed in the past I thought it was 2 actual cores, but I'm pretty sure Proxmox works off of vCPUs. But I think those vCPUs are reserved. So what that allows you to do is do something like 1.25 vCPUs. I could be wrong, but I think that's the way it works. But yeah, so I think they're reserved, but you can do fractional ones because of vCPUs. Is that right? Not reserved, but you will see CPU pressure stall going up on overcommitted cores. Wow. Okay. Interesting. That's a lot more flexibility than I expected. That's really cool. All right, let's pop open the console and have a good time. They can be shared, and you can oversubscribe your CPU cores. That's crazy. Okay, cool. Thanks for correcting me, guys. Appreciate that. Web UI authentication method. Any preference here? So I can run 4 2-core VMs on a 6-core CPU. Huh. I did not know that. TrueNAS admin. I'm going to go configure using WebUI. Allow EFI boot? Sure. Oh, it's threads too. Cool. All right. Man, I learned so much from chat. You guys are awesome. It's actually such a great time. Oh. So we're going to do the sit here and wait for install thing. In the meantime, let's chat a little bit. Wait, what the heck is ZFS any raid? ZFS any raid. We're searching that up. We have a little time while TrueNAS does its installing thing. ZFS any raid will make it easier than ever to build your first NAS. Saves you a ton of time. What? Okay, let me swap screen like this so you can all come with me while we read this article. Oh, that was quick. Wait, what? Console. Didn't we already do this? Okay. Sorry. Something happened. Okay, we're good. Flexible Z-RAID with different disk size. Very nice to upgrade disks without buying 4 at once. Holy shit, are you serious? That might change my whole setup. Because I have 2 4 terabytes and 2 2 terabytes, right? I would love to throw them in any RAID. Can I do that from TrueNAS scale? Isn't available yet. How old is this article? June 8th, 2025? Could be up. Is that live? Can we run that? ZFS any RAID TrueNAS scale. Especially with current HDD prices. Yeah, seriously. It's a new ZFS competitor to Unraid. Add disk anytime. Oh, baby. For the other threat. This looks old. What the advantage over SnapRaid with Merger FS? I have no idea what those are. I've heard about Merger FS, but yeah. It's basically Synology's hybrid RAID. Okay. It's still very new and buggy from what I've heard. Hey Nathan, love your videos. Thank you for the great content. Keep them coming. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that, short-coded. Unraid has a parity disk. Again, a single point of failure. Any raid can lose any disk. Oh, hell yeah. That's huge. Wait, so Plus, are you saying this is released? Like this is a feature that I can set up? Oh, here we go. Sorry, we're just gonna pop over to TrueNAS now. To TrueNAS land. Hello from Italy, learning a lot from your channel. Oh, thank you so much, Francesco. I'll be visiting Italy soon. That's crazy. 27 people watching. Yeah, stream has been getting some views lately. It's been really fun. I haven't been putting out a lot of videos lately, but I have been really enjoying stream. So it's available. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. It was on the TrueNAS streams, but I haven't checked if it's production quality. Okay, yeah, fair. Well, I might be willing to mess about. We'll see. Okay, so unfortunately I don't have disks, right? So I can't actually do a lot of cool stuff. Shares. Import pool, disks, data protection, credentials. Can I run OIDC stuff? Hell yeah, this stream is my entertainment for the night. Ah, well, welcome. I'm glad you're having a good time. Me too. Nathan is coming to the EU. Yes, indeed. Snap rate equals poor man's rate, I guess. When visit Germany. Oh man, I would love to visit more of Europe. Like it's becoming a dream of mine. I never was that interested in traveling, and then like now I'm with my girlfriend, and I've been reading a lot more, and all of that has sort of come together to me just being the whole world is more interesting to you when you read, I've found. And now I'm like, oh, I'm excited to visit Rome and Greece and check out more of Europe. And yeah, it'll be really cool. Unraid can have more than one parody disk from what I remember. Haven't messed with it for a while. Right. What is he running Proxmox on? Anyone know? Me? I've got like an i7 mini PC. That's my Proxmox. Come to Sweden. It's cold here too. I've had enough of the cold. I've had enough. Uh, you can do virtual machines? Wow, there's a lot of features I really don't need. Oh, and you can even do containers. This is so it's wow. Put Austria on the list. Heck yeah. Well, I find it like it's when you start doing the content creation thing, you expect everybody to watch your content to be pretty much exactly your demographic, right? And it's been absolutely delightful to find out how wrong I was about this. Like there are people from all over having such a great time chatting and like hanging out while we do this, and that's been such a delight. Okay. So what can I do with this? Like I guess I've installed it and I clicked about and it's this is what it is. I can't create a pool. Can I? Test? Do you all recommend do you all recommend encryption? Stripe mirror, blah blah blah. Okay. Well, Stripe. Can I pick manual disk selection? Yeah, it's not going to let me select the boot one. So there's not much I can actually do from here, is there? This looks fine. I'm a 19-year-old from Denmark. Hey, Proton, how's it going? Whole EU chilling here. Yeah, seriously, I think I've got more Europeans than Canadians in the chat. That's fine. I don't really need that. Um, oh, what we can do is go to storage, create pool, whatever, test, data, and okay, it looks like we don't have any RAID as an option. We represent here in Europe. Yeah, truly. Encryption and compression depending on the content. Media, none of them. Okay. All right. Um, so what might we do then? I'm thinking for our data sets, media, none of them. Backups and things, though, that's going to be encrypted and compressed, I assume. What am I going to encrypt and compress? Oh, we do have EU plus Norway. True, true. Um, oh, we can look at options. Drive reserved for inserting into data pool VDEVs when an active drive has failed. Interesting. Cache. Okay. So it'll just set a bunch of this stuff for me. Feel like I'm the only Canadian, and your name is Ozzy. Nice. Okay. So, I don't know. This is TrueNAS. It looks pretty simple to use. I don't know. Can I link my OIDC stuff to it? Can I do TrueNAS OIDC? Cool. I assume, yeah, me too, right? Okay. Pocket ID, cool, but I'm looking for authentic. Cool. What is TrueNAS TrueCommand? TrueCommand is a ZFS aware solution allowing you to set custom alerts on statistics like ARC usage or pool capacity and ensuring storage uptime and future planning. TrueCommand also identifies and pinpoints errors. Okay. What does that have to do with authentic, though? The following placeholders are used in this guide. This of the Snipe installation is the FUDN of authentic solution. Okay, clearly I don't know what this is. So we're going to have quite a few streams, I think, configuring the NAS. VM datasets, Vault Warden, etc. on my backups. Okay, Ozzy, we're in the same boat then. Sounds like I had the right thing. We got Spain too? Oh yes, of course. How you doing? Um, hmm. So it looks like we can do this. I guess there's not a lot of planning I can do in advance for that, but it looks like we can configure them. Cool. Now, Authentic as a TrueNAS app is not the solution, right? That's them saying, hey, you can run Authentic as a thing. I would not use OIDC on TrueNAS. Ah, okay. What's the reason? Have you found it's not very good, or is this like a redundancy thing where if your compute's down, you don't want TrueNAS to be inaccessible because your OIDC's down? Yeah, most do. It's a long time nickname from before I was even on the interwebs. Oh, wow. That's fun. I never got much of a nickname, just Nathan. Oh, this is cool. Huh. I'm so looking forward to setting all of this stuff up, man. It's gonna be fun. Authentic behind traffic on TrueNAS scale. That's not what I'm doing. I'm curious about OIDC like for TrueNAS's authentication, right? And the reason I'm curious about this is because it's got its whole UI like user thing. The latter, don't want the circular dependency with compute. Okay, that seems reasonable. Ah, the time before the interwebs. I wasn't really around for that. Uh, but I hear it was great. I hear it was great. And instead now we have doom scrolling. So that's cool. Yes, we can leave these behind. User API keys. I don't want to do any of this. Shares allow you to make your data accessible over the web, right? So over the network, sorry. You'll need a pool and a data set that you want to share, right? So what does TrueNAS do? I guess we'll spend some time looking over docs. TrueNAS scale. Docs. Oh, maybe TrueNAS 26 has the new any thingy. Does anyone know? So I've got two existing Z pools, right? Does anyone know if I can move that data if I'm somehow get that in like so if okay, sorry. Two Z pools, four drives. The two pools are mirrored pairs. I would like to get I would like to try the any raid solution or ZFS's any raid, and I want the existing data to be part of that new any raid pool. I don't know if that's possible or how I might do it. Does anyone have thoughts? I might have missed the initial explanation. You're running TrueNAS on Proxmox on your i7 mini PC? Are you? Oh no, sorry. So I have compute and NAS. Sorry, compute and storage are separate bare metal devices. My compute is the i7 mini PC. The TrueNAS device is going to be bare metal, and it's like a four bay NAS device, like a little N100 mini PC thing. So those are my two devices. Okay. TrueNAS apps, TrueNAS Connect. What is TrueNAS Connect? Optional web-based control panel that simplifies day-to-day management of your TrueNAS software. What? Plans and pricing? I don't know what this is. Okay. Just drag and drop. Back up the data, create new pool, restore backups. Pool creation will destroy what's there. Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah. Are you a full-time creator yet? Not even close. Not even close. Yeah, I think on a good month I make like $300 in ad revenue, and then it gets taxed. And then I'm planning on starting to pay a video editor, which will probably be all of the money. So, nope, not quite. But I have fun, and that's what matters. My full-time job is, my official title is research engineer at Autodesk, and it's a pretty good gig. So that's where we're at. I don't know. I don't know what my future holds, but either way, it'll be fun. I like both of these these things that I do. I think that was the idea. Need to back up the pools on an external drive and then destroy and recreate the pools with any RAID. Yeah, I was afraid of that. I don't have drives big enough to back these up. So, oops. We'll see about that then. Well, first we'll see, does TrueNAS 26 even have any RAID? Doesn't look like it. So, we love Autodesk. Indeed. Yeah, I do. I work in the Autodesk research division. It's honestly a really great job. I work. I'm on contract for the year. I'm really hoping they pick me up. That would be great. They seem to like me, so we'll see. But either way, it's been just a fantastic experience. Time to ask for a raise so you can buy a hard drive. Yeah, seriously, that, or maybe I can get a video sponsor to send me some drives. It'd be cool. Maybe. Oh, 1 second. Sorry. I just want to show. Might be on the roadmap for later this year. I hope so. But if you think that hard drives are expensive, check the price of LTO streamers. Tapes are cheap, but the entry level prices are like hell. Oof. So something cool. I know. We're doing the TrueNAS thing. It's just it looked so easy that I lost attention. I was like, this is fine. I don't know. You're in Canada. Just run over to LTT and ask for some drives. Yeah. Aren't they based in Vancouver? I'm like the other end of the country. All right, so this is kind of fun. The folks at ScreenZen, can you all see that? Sent me their Halo. It's a new device for blocking smartphone usage in particular areas of your home. And so I'm kind of testing it out. Unfortunately, it doesn't hook into Home Assistant yet. That was like my first question. They sent it over, right? And I was like, or they asked to say, hey, do you want to check it out? You don't have to make a video. We're just sending them out. I went, yeah, I'll take one for free for sure. Like I'll chat about it. If it's good, I'll write an article or make a video. Could be cool. But yeah, so they sent that over, but it doesn't hook into Home Assistant yet. They are looking into it apparently, so it should be cool. I start my server repair job tomorrow. Finally a full-time job after door dashing for months. Can't wait to build up my Homelab. Holy, that's amazing. Congrats. That's awesome. Man, it is a tough time out there on the job market. It is absolutely fantastic news that you got yourself a full-time gig, man. Good for you. I'm in Sweden. I have no clue. Just know the names from the NHL 2002. Finally, affordable brick alternative. Yeah, right? If they hook it into Home Assistant, I'm sold. right? The way I want to use it is I host movie nights, right? And I really want people to, because you can sign in, you just scan the QR code or put your phone close to the device and then you're sort of joined in. And I would love to host movie night and have everyone tap in and then they're like, okay, we're zoned in for movies. I think that'd be cool. I need to get a second job so I can finish my home AI server and afford an engagement ring for the GF. Well, first off, congratulations. That's fantastic. Second of all, yeah, I feel that. AI servers, are you kidding me? They're so expensive. Okay. Let's get back to popping about TrueNAS docs. So, oh, let's look at the development notes. Maybe they got. Why am I getting ads? What do you mean we're trying to find that site? Getting started. No? Okay, cool. We're good. Anything interesting? Notable changes and known issues. 26 major features. I'm still hoping we can find. Okay. Is this one of those things that's just not working well on Firefox? Happens sometimes. Or 26 has 0 major features? Thanks, it's been a struggle. Can't wait to get everything set up. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so yeah, ZFS features flag. TrueNAS integrates many features provided by the upstream ZFS project. Any new feature flags introduced? Okay, looks like any raid's not going to be there for a while. Unless this? Features? No? All right. Darn. Wait, this is TrueNAS. This is not TrueNAS scale. I'm an idiot. How? I've been consistently disappointed with TrueNAS the website and documentation. What's NBS? Dude, I don't know what's like YouTube streaming chat thing is super aggressive. I apologize if you get your message mangled because of like auto moderator stuff. I didn't do it. You all know I don't look that close at it anyways. Girls, boys, and movies. I'm leaving for the night, and I'll see you in the VOD. Peace out. All right, cool. See you later. Thanks for coming by. Okay. Oh, NB's for right. That makes sense. NB means non-binary. Yes, I caught up just in the just then. That there's no way that gets you your message erased. That's crazy. That's that right? That's a respectful term for. That's a respectful term, right? Right? I hope. Okay. TrueNAS stable version. Okay, yes, but where is TrueNAS? They just don't delineate TrueNAS apps current. So we're currently on 2504. TrueNAS Enterprise, manage your TrueNAS fleet from one place. Yeah, that's not. Have they just mostly retired? Yes, NB is good. Good. Okay. I good. It did get the message deleted. That's crazy. No, it was me fat thumbing before I was ready to send my goodbye. Ah, okay. Okay. Cool. So have they just dropped the TrueNAS scale moniker in most places? TrueNAS Community Edition, TrueNAS Enterprise. Do they just call it Community Edition versus Enterprise now? Just checked. Not even HexOS has any RAID released, and this is where it originates. No way that TrueNAS released it before them. Ah, okay. Thank you. Okay. 2510 is what you should be using for TrueNAS scale. Okay. Man, their website is just kind of a pain. I don't think I'm going to need any of this True Command Cloud stuff. That seems excessive. So I'm going to assume this is what we're looking for. Encryption. What might I need to go through? Oh, actually, learning about shares could be really cool. Data protection. I'd like to spend some time with that. Credentials could be cool. All right, let's take it from there. Go Community Edition for the docs. Am I not in the... I'm in Enterprise. God, it's so hard to navigate their site. Am I just doing this really poorly? Learn more? I don't want to learn about features. What do you mean back to Community Edition? Am I not at Community Edition? What is happening? Okay. Right, I'm not crazy. TrueNAS Community Edition docs. I'm not crazy, right? This is difficult to navigate because I can't tell what I'm at. This is the TrueNAS documentation hub, and it says Open Enterprise Storage, so I can't tell where I'm at. I'm just gonna read. Their site is garbage. Indeed, indeed. All right, we're just gonna read. File sharing is one of the primary benefits of NAS. Yep. So I've never done anything with iSCSI. Got to use links in the terminal to properly serve the TrueNAS website. Ah, I just wasn't cool enough. That's the problem. That's what it is. You sound like me, Boomer. Yeah, honestly, as I was saying it, I was thinking like, damn, I sound more and more like my dad. Okay. For shares, I mean, NFS is going to work really nicely for all my Linux systems. For mounting onto my Mac and my Windows box, I don't need to do that for Windows. So we'll see. Community Edition is their nice wording for public beta testing. Stable enough for me, but still the beta. Okay. If it's stable enough for you, that's I'm good. I've never done SMB stuff. Windows, Mac OS. I'm assuming Mac OS can handle NFS, but I've never done it. Add NFS share. I'm assuming you just do this for, yep. What version is it running? Version? Currently support, whoa! Note that Windows NFS compliance. I was like, we're only using NFS v2 and v3? That's a little crazy. Okay. So, oh, my face hasn't been on this whole time. Quick question. So, with NFS v4, you need one export point, right? Now, when I was setting up the Debian-based NAS that we were doing months ago, right? I had to create some sort of nasty... macOS supports NFS fairly well. Nice. Some weird thing where I had my two Z pools, and then I created sort of like a root fake directory that housed them both to export them both via NFS. If I've got two Z pools, how does the NFS sharing thing work? I'll be heading off now. All right, Tim. Catch you later. Thanks for coming by. Editing an NFS share, configuring the NFS service. Bind IP addresses. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Add NFS basic options. NFS treats each dataset as its own file system. When creating the NFS share on the server, the specified dataset is the location that the client accesses. If you choose a parent dataset as the NFS file share location, the client cannot access any nested or child datasets beneath the parent. Right, so we solved that last time, but maybe that won't be solvable through TrueNAS? Maybe that'll be a pain? The UDP protocol is deprecated and not supported with NFS. It is disabled by default with the Linux kernel. Okay, that's fine. Usually by creating a dataset to share for a dataset, not the pool. Creating a dataset. TrueNAS simply exposes its own mount under/mount. Okay. Oh. Okay. That makes sense, I think, then. But if I do nested datasets, it's going to be it's going to be a little annoying. Is that correct? It's data when creating the NFS share on the server, the specified dataset is the location that the client accesses. If you choose a parent dataset as the NFS file share location, the client cannot access any nested or child datasets beneath the parent. Okay, so I'll try to keep my datasets as flat as possible, I think will be the approach. Yeah. Plus beating my grocery shopping English at the moment. usually by creating a dataset, I think. Grocery shopping English. All right. TrueNAS has implemented administrator roles to align with FIPS compliant encryption and security hardening standards. The sharing admin role allows the user to create new shares and datasets, modify the dataset ACL permissions, and restart the sharing service, but does not permit the user to modify users or grant the sharing administrator role to new or existing users. Okay. This seems reasonable. What else we got? With SMB, the native file sharing system in Windows, SMB shares can connect to most operating systems. Yeah. Yeah. TrueNAS uses Samba to provide. Yep, that makes sense. Adding and managing, adding a basic time machine Samba share. This would be cool. Final Cut Pro Samba shares. Okay, so there's a bunch of like Mac OS support with Samba, which unfortunately is relevant to me. No, I don't use Final Cut Pro, so meh. Yes, flat datasets, sometimes with multiple datasets for one VM. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Because yeah, when I made this set of Z pools, it was really deeply nested, and that was a pain. So I won't be doing that this time. So we got the FIPS compliant thing again. I don't know what that means. Why do I assume it means financial? Federal Information Processing Standards. Okay. Creating an SMB share on your system requires adding the share and then getting it working. Why would you write that sentence? Of course it does. I'm sorry. What? What? Creating an SMB share on your system requires adding the share and then getting it working. What? Getting it? No shit. What? Okay. All right. Oh, the LDAP thing is kind of a nice touch for SMB. You can use the add SMB screen to create a basic SMB share, or a more specific share type with specific feature requirements using the advanced options. Yeah. The add dataset and add SMB share screen allows TrueNAS to create a dataset and SMB share from the same screen. Yep. Create SMB share user accounts. To add or edit users, go to Credentials, Users, then add or edit an existing user to create the SMB share users. Click Add to create a new user or as many new users accounts as needed. Joining TrueNAS to Active Directory creates the user's account. Cool. To distinguish from the docs page for creating a broken NFS share, of course. Yeah, I guess. Why not just allow anonymous access to share? Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll try to go about this properly. What are ZFS dataset setting defaults? SMB clients automatically use access-based enumeration. This means directory listings over SMB only include files and directories for which the client has read permissions. This behavior is enabled by default and matches FreeBSD behavior. Cool. All right, this should be fine. Building a house requires stacking bricks and getting them look like a house. Yeah, right? The data protection screen. Data protection screen task widgets allow users to set up multiple redundant tasks to protect and back up data in case of drive failure. Snapshot, True Cloud Backup, Cloud Sync tasks, rsync tasks, replication tasks. This is sweet. I love this. VMware snapshot integration. Ah, that's so cool. Darn. Okay. Backing up Google Drive to TrueNAS, adding a Google Photos Cloud Sync task. You know what this sounds like? This sounds like TrueNAS might have an integration for something like image. Right? Does that sound crazy to me? Right? Like if we've got Google Photos Cloud Sync provides instructions on how to set up Google Photos API credentials and use them to create a Cloud Sync task. Provides instructions on adding Google Drive cloud credentials using the add. Yeah, right? So I'm still interested in virtualizing Zima OS to get the Zima client benefits for backing up quickly and easily from like mobile devices, right? But maybe there's a direct TrueNAS solution. Because getting data off of iPhones is really, really hard. Like it is a pain. Yeah. Okay, it looks like some people use Nextcloud for this. That's interesting. I mean, I could skip over over Zima and just go straight to image. What data do you want off your phone? Photos, mostly just photos. Um, like, yeah, no, that's the whole thing. I want to be able to quickly and easily pull photos off of my phone and my girlfriend's phone onto the NAS for backup so that we don't need to pay for like iCloud storage stuff. So just go straight to image. Yeah. I guess virtualizing Zima OS is a lot of work for just that when I'm going to be installing image anyways. Okay, so the reason I wanted to do it this way, right, is one of my principles is app agnostic data storage, right? Apple likes walled gardens. I mean, look at their headquarters. It's literally a walled garden. Indeed, they do. One of the reasons I don't want to use image for this, even though it is quite nice, is I want my images stored in like a just a super basic format. Image manages it in an imagey way, and I just want my photos on my device and then I want them pulled over to image. Sort of, we did that on stream and it worked really, really well. But yeah, um, I don't know. The image storage format is kind of seemed annoying, but maybe this is another one of those things where I just didn't understand it properly. And merch. Maybe I can figure out how to do that. Features, mobile backup. Like this is just amazing, right? This would be awesome. And it's got deduplication. Oh, come on. That's so nice. That's so cool. There's an image CLI. What? That makes me happy. I don't even know what it does, but it makes me happy. Not gonna lie, sync thing. Oh, maybe smart. Could have a separate app for viewing, but not managing the data if you want. Lo-fi turtle. This is a good idea. That's a good idea. Could be a sync thing angle. Editing, I don't really need. I don't care too much about this. What I care about is storage. How they go about storing. Storage template? Okay. Image allows the admin user to set up the uploaded file name pattern at the directory and file name level, as well as the storage label for a user. Okay, we might be getting somewhere here. The admin user can set the template by using the template builder in the administration settings storage template. Image provides a set of variables that you can use in constructing the template, along with additional custom text. TBH, that creates storage issues if photos are if photos are duplicated. Yeah, might be. I think we might be able to solve this problem with storage template usage, and then we can skip the Zima. We can skip Zima OS. Okay, yeah, we'll just go straight through image. Okay. All right, gang. I'm going to be shutting down in about 4 minutes, but yes, we've got a lot of solutions here. I think it's coming together. I think we're learning. I'll draft up a roadmap for the features that I want implemented. I'm not going to date them because I'm not that consistent, but I do kind of want like a path for what we're going to work on every stream as we kind of get through things so that I know how this is going to build up over time. I think hopefully if everything goes according to plan, by the time next stream comes along, I will have the UPS in, like, I will have devices on the UPS. I'll have moved my devices onto it, and we'll have set up the OpenSense router. I don't know if we'll do the VLAN stuff. That might be a little hopeful to get VLANs up in a day. Probably. Especially with, like, I could probably, like, set them up, but that doesn't mean I'll have fleshed them out, right? Like, moving my IoT stuff off, I won't be able to actually move my IoT stuff off until Home Assistant is... Yeah, there's a bunch of work. DM me the Chewbacca. I've been working on the guide to disappearing from the interwebs. Huh? What is the Chewbacca? Oh, is that your name on Discord? Is that what you're saying? I've been working on the guide to disappearing from the webs. Yeah, I'd love to see that. All right. Let me just pop open on Discord and see if I've got you there. Man, now I'm kind of hyped to do some home labbing. It's been a while. My Discord pick. Oh yes. Of course. Of course. All right, I'm gonna go. Where's the thingy? Where's the thing? All right, we'll handle that in a bit. I gotta sign off anyways. Okay, but yes, I will. I'd love to hear about that. That should be super cool. What did we do? what did we do? Went over TrueNAS, went over the doc. It was a productive day. Our design doc is coming together. We're thinking things through. There's a lot of fleshing out to do, for sure. But I think that'll mostly happen at this point as we go. So I'll do my usual thing. Sorry, Al. I'll do my usual thing of sort of fleshing out documents for each device that I configure. This is probably going to be the best, what's the word I'm looking for? Documented Homelab I've ever done. So this should be a lot of fun. All right, gang. It's been a fun one. I will catch you next week, and hopefully by then, open sense, and we can start playing around with some of that. Catch you all later.